Ecclesiastes talks about the seasons of life. Says there's a time to be sad, time to be happy, time for mourning, and a time to celebrate. I received a call. My friend, who I see as a brother, he lost his 16-year-old son. I think we know what kind of season he'll be in. I remember the first day that I ever met him. I met him and his two brothers, and it was a neighborhood football game. I was in third grade, and you ever had one of those days where you're never aware that it's going to change your life? I had one of those days. Jim, his older brother, he was loud and intense. Brandon is the one that became my friend for a lifetime. He was quiet and intense. And his younger brother was just a happy-go-lucky kind of kid. Deal is, it was the most intriguing, most enthralling football game I'd ever played in, most intriguing sporting event that I'd ever played in, because it was so intense. Birds of a feather flocked together. Obviously, I was attracted to these three, Jim and Brandon in particular. It was just something in my mind I'll never forget. And over time, I began to go through so much with their family. I became a member of their family. And that's where a friend starts to become a brother. And when a brother hurts, you hurt. I know there aren't any words that could say, make my brother feel better. Just time. Time just being there and saying hello. Sometimes I ask myself, what is a friend? What is a good friend? And I think this is a perfect example of what a friend is. Over time, they're there. And they know how to say hello. And sometimes that's all you need to hear. Just knowing that there's that voice that's been there most of your life. And that friend's there to support you. When I shut my eyes after hearing the news, I had this vision in my head. And what I've started to differentiate in life is I have a thinking mind and I have a thinking heart. The two aren't the same. My thinking mind, it gets me to some pretty decent places. But ultimately, the stars, the expression, shoot for the stars and you may hit the moon. Where the moon lies for me is when I think with my heart. When I shut my eyes and I envision my life with my thinking heart. I saw this vision, and it was Brandon and his son, Austin. They're riding in a car, and he turns to his dad and he says, "Dad, you ever had one of those dreams? And it feels so real, like it really happened." Brandon, not being a man of many words, says, "Mm-hmm." So I had one of those last night, Dad. I was standing, kind of looked like our kitchen, and I saw these two men in a living room, and one was a really old guy, and he was laying on a couch. That's usually how Brandon, you'll find him laying on the couch with the remote control right on his chest. And he said, but then there was this other man, not quite as old as the man on the couch, and he was sitting there and they were watching Ole Miss football game. I think he was somewhere 50s, something like that. Anyway, over time, woman comes in, gives him a kiss on the cheek, says, "I love you," and he says, "I love you back." And I think they were married. And then a younger girl walks in and looked a whole lot like Mom does. Those eyes. And I could tell that the man laying on the couch, he was really, really happy to see her. It was like it was pride and joy. And then another guy walked in the room and he looked just like the guy sitting in the chair. I think they were twins, just like Clayton and I. And then I came to realize this was my life. And it felt really good to be there in that room. You know, I'm young, Dad. And I know I take a lot of things for granted. Maybe we all do. But I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being my dad. I saw this man in the chair. He was very happy. He was very content. And he had a very good life. And it was because he had a family around him that loved him. Dad, I don't get to say it that often. But I do love you. My prayer for my friend is that when he shuts his eyes, anywhere, any place, anytime, that he thinks with his heart, and that he knows that he can visit his son, and for that matter, the father that he lost when he was 15 years old. Any place, anytime, anywhere.